Hello again YouTube, I am Haznap. Now looking back at previous DLCs in Destiny, the community hasn't exactly viewed them very fondly. There's skid marks on the Destiny's briefs. We don't want to play with that shit again. Now in life, when someone fucks up, you want them to improve, one must critique. It's like potty training a dog. If it shits in your house and you yell at it and say, "No, bad dog. Why are you shitting wherever the hell you want like it's a damn outback in here?" Well, you make your dog feel like a complete pine cone, it'll be pretty disappointed. But that's not going to stop it from shitting in the house again. You pick that bitch up by the scruff, march it to the backyard, and make it take a dump outside. You show it where it needs to shit. You correct it. Now, Destiny and all games are a very similar situation. In previous DLCs, such as The Taken King, Bungie fucked up. But that's not going to go as one might think it will. Just look at Star Wars Battlefront. The community said, "No, please, don't make a Battlefield reskin." We bitched and bothered so much to the point that one of the executives went on Twitter and saltily responded about the toxic ass comment. And this Battlefront had all the interesting depth taken out of it, and the empty shell of Battlefield is left with a pretty Star Wars reskin thrown over it. So with Destiny, we need to tell Bungie what we want from a DLC. Dog is shit in the house, and it's time to pick it up by the scruff and show the bitch the correct place to shit. In the spirit of the Rise of Iron DLC that was leaked, I'm gonna do just that. And looking back at the Dark Below in House of Wolves, let's analyze a few ways they defecated in the house. Now for first DLC, the Dark Below wasn't too bad. It was new, fun raid that was exciting. However, it got old, and that was the biggest issue with the DLC. With only 3 new Crucible maps, one of which I think I played on a total of 5 times, shitty missions that were in old previously traversed areas. Like seriously, Bungie, you can't resell me a mission that's literally me just walking backwards from an old mission. What the fuck? Shitty missions, an incredibly long time between it and the House of Wolves. It got hella stale fast. For the $20 we were charged and the extreme lack of content, it fucked up. Now, House of Wolves was an oasis in the desert, but it faltered in several more places. Etheric Light was an issue, for it allowed players to bring back their OP Vault of Glass weapons, and everyone and their inbred cousin had a Fatebringer and Vision of Confluence, or spend all their time trying to get that shit rather than using or chasing down House of Wolves weapons. That's horrible design. Reforging was a good idea on paper, but it just ended up taking away one of the few things Destiny has going for it, RNG. The amount of times I was submerged by a perfectly rolled Fellwinter's Lie is comparable to the money Donald Trump's dad gifted to his spoiled racist son. But the place we can take the most from this is The Taken King. Firstly, they introduced microtransactions via emotes and the Eververse to pay for, quote-unquote, free DLCs in the future. Which I can almost guarantee is fucking bullshit, and they twisted their slimy little words to make it seem like the next House of Wolves would be free. Yes, things like the Crimson Days and the April update are free, but those events are jokes. The April update lasted for a week at best, and they expected it to last 4 months. The amount of times I've seen Ninja Fuckface 49 motivates everyone in the public chat makes me want to climb into this game and literally beat the fucking life out of the asshole spamming that emote. Like, holy shit, I can make a whole video dedicated to how much I hate that emote. Bungie could buy real estate next to a park in New York City just off of that emote. But also, in The Taken King, they dumbed the game down more than it already was. During The Taken King, everyone hyped the fuck out of the Sleeper Simulant, and now unlocking it was like a plot stripped out of a National Treasure movie. Nope, 2 easy steps, and you've unlocked it in 2 days. This game is rated T, but someone up at Bungie HQ is designing it for a negative E audience. Next, hitting max light level was crazy hard in The Taken King, but not for the right reason. You had to have every piece of gear at max light, your ghost and your cloak, your everything, which comes down to a sickeningly amount of RNG. And worst of all, they expect this DLC, which realistically should have been worth $20, not $40, to last 6 months. That's wishful thinking at its best, if I'm being polite. We were done with that DLC in 3 months, and I'm tired of it. Following this, Bungie gave us the April update, i.e. a dick slap to the forehead after the weight they put us through. A free update in which all this content could be finished in a day. People hit max light in hours. It was the epitome of a flop. Now, Infusion was introduced with the Taken King is probably the best leveling system we've had in a game up to this point. However, one of its purposes is to encourage customization. But having a light value on your cloak and ghost contradicts this thinking as a failed attempt to increase the amount of time it takes to hit max light. Also, on a side note, make it so that our cloaks change color with shaders back like it was in year 1. Having to get a shader that matches a Crucible cloak is almost impossible. It pisses me off. On top of this, the PvE section of this game is being extremely neglected, for the Challenge of Elders could be completed by a fetus. It's stupid easy. Like, what the fuck? Also, nobody liked Prison of Elders. Why in the Holy Tree of Destiny plebs would you reintroduce that? Do I really need to explain why this is stupid? Just, no. Bad dog. Bad. Outside. Go. Now for upcoming DLCs, Bungie needs to firstly pace that shit accordingly with other content refreshers, or actually give us our money's worth. Secondly, though I understand this is wishful thinking, with all the bank you made off of emotes, a free, hefty DLC isn't that unreasonable to ask for. Shia LaBeouf, get the hell out of Destiny and back into July 2015 where you belong. Following this, a raid that pulls off the great mechanics of Kingsfall with the action of Dark Below would make an unforgettable raid, truly. Stop neglecting your PvEers, they're people too, man. Make the light progression difficult but achievable. Having perfect RNG to get max light is a stupid idea. Give artifacts and such actual mechanics. Introduced in the Taken King, artifacts were another sad excuse to prolong light progression. All they did was boost intellect, discipline, or strength. Nothing original or risky. Nothing innovative or fun or new. Make them have a meaningful impact to your character, like the Standing Stones in Skyrim. If you get the ability from the Shadow Stone, you can become invisible once a day for 60 seconds. My stealth character just got a whole lot more effective with that stone ability chosen. What if the Coyote's Paw artifact made it so that when equipped, you had more weapon slots, similarly to the Skyrim Steed Stone's ability to increase your carry weight? What if your Warmind artifact chunk made it so that fusion rifles were 10% more stable and had 5% more range? What about the damned loot giving you another ability, like a grenade, with a really long cooldown that allowed you to make nearby enemies weaker, slower, and have the potential to run away? Curse those assholes. The Ahamkara scale, being a blue, just straight up gives you extra armor. The Eye of Osiris artifact allows you to highlight enemies for your whole fire team to see and reads you a random weakness to them, like grenades, due to the Shank's faulty construction, or solar damage to an Acolyte for his phobia of flames. Wouldn't that be fucking cool? How about a few quality of life improvements for neglected aspects of game modes and activities in Destiny? That would be incredible. Updates to the Cosmodrome, like the ability for friendly fire in that shit, or exciting public events that are challenging, like a higher level area in the Cosmodrome with fucking walkers crawling around. You have to walk into a war zone of fallen enemies waiting to ambush you, snipers in destroyed buildings, ships flying in and shooting at you. After you take out all those enemies, you feel accomplished. Damn, that was difficult and exciting. But wait, that's not the end. Oh shit, a badass Skolas looking motherfucker drops in, riding a beast from the Fallen's home planet, with fangs dripping with poisonous saliva. This is something you've never fought, and the battle is intense, but you emerge victorious, and look at that, he dropped an exotic, the Lord of Wolves, because the Fallen dude was using a shrapnel shotgun. And now that you've wiped the area, you can extract that spin metal your faction is in desperate need of, and get the hella rep and 20 spin metal for yourself. There are plenty of possibilities and improvements possible for this game. We just need to tell Bungie what we want. The dog shits, correct it. But please, remember to be mindful of other people's opinions. Just because you like something doesn't mean they will. Be specific in what you ask for, otherwise things like Infinite Warfare are spawned. When the developer makes an overpriced trashy DLC, tell them what you really want. If you want this game to get any better with DLCs and not watch it go down the drain, we need to take action, and this is my battle cry. Thank you all very much for watching. Rating and subscribe fuels the fire for the fight against shitty DLCs. See you all in the next one. Peace.